Welcome back to the Daily Grind. For those of you that can't see, I popped up from the bottom of the screen and I'm stuck on my knees now. And I didn't plan this out. Welcome back to the Daily Grind on this Monday. I am joined by my dear friend Rusty Buckets Musty. How are you doing on this Monday, sir? As my knees crack. Oh God, I didn't plan this out. Okay, we're up. All right.
About to say, I'm doing better than you are because I'm sitting comfortably in my chair watching this man who's younger than I am struggle to get up out of the floor.
As soon as I got down there, I was like, man, we didn't plan this. Ow, our knees hurt.
It's like, now I live here. This is my home. This is my home now. I'm on the floor. I'm the floor people.
I am the floor people. My cat's down here. Don't you? God, I sound like a crazy cat person, and it's not cute.
No, I did. I had a good weekend. A lot of family time this weekend. My nephew turned 1 on Saturday, so went bowling. And then I know it's not Tubing Tuesday, but I watched Atlas with my dad on Netflix with Jennifer Lopez. She's just like AI analyst or whatever.
Dude, it looks sick.
It was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. I got invested. The plot line was good. You know, it's cheesy. It's Jennifer Lopez acting. It is what it is. But honestly, like, I didn't waste 2 hours. I thought it was entertaining.
Dude, okay. So I saw that. I just saw the trailer for it. And I was like, is that J-Lo?
Yeah.
And one, two, it looks like a cool, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it looks good and it has someone good looking in it, I'm probably going to watch it.
Yeah, I would recommend. I'd probably give it like a maybe 6.9 out of 10, 6.8, 7, somewhere right in there. It was good. It was entertaining. You're not getting blown away by the acting. There's some cheesy one-liners in there, but it's very entertaining. Again, would recommend watching on a rainy day.
Well, you said a 6.9, which 9 is where the Grizzlies are drafting.
What a pro.
See, my knees may be bad, but the mind palace is still sharp. We're drafting 9th, and I don't know if you saw this. I mean, I feel like I'm clinging to any bit of Grizzlies news that I can get my hands on like a crack addict. Clinging, that wasn't even planned. Oh my God.
What a pro. He's so good he doesn't know it.
Clinging, there were rumors from ESPN. Jonathan, I can never pronounce his name. They're giving away their big apologies if you're listening for mispronouncing your name. I love your stuff. His draft coverage is awesome. There was a report coming out that it is rumored that the Grizzlies are interested in trading up to draft specifically Donovan Clingan.
Yeah.
I don't know where they would have to trade up to. That remains to be seen. I've seen a lot of people have him. I've seen some mocks have him going 2nd to the Wizards. I've seen some people have him going 5th to the Hornets. I don't see him slipping past 5. But either way, you're looking at the Grizzlies either jumping up from where you're looking at 9 to 5 or even 9 to 2. I mean, they're going to be jumping up. And if that interest is, real, and I believe it to be, because we are going to have the 8th highest payroll next year as of now. The way you fill out a roster, if you've got a high payroll, is by cheap contracts and rookie contracts. It makes sense to me. I love Donovan Clingan. I just don't know. I don't know what they're going to have to do to get up there.
It's going to take a lot. Because I'm looking at the order now. Atlanta going to take Sarr. Washington at 2 is a very likely landing spot. And then Houston and San Antonio have their bigs figured out. It's then you've got Detroit at 5. That's where you're going to have to go because they've got their big situation. But Portland's got DeAndre Ayton, and then he's good. They've got Jukovic. They've got guys that can play. But I don't know. It's going to take a lot more than I think we're going to be willing to give up. Particularly when there's other bigs, a Khalil Ware that might be available later in the first round.
Yep.
I just don't know that we're going to want to give up what they want because it's going to take Marcus and Luke, Marcus and the first round and some draft. I mean, it's going to take quite a bit. Again, maybe even somebody may come after one of the untouchables. I don't know, but it's going to take a lot to move up.
Yeah, I mean, I could even see them maybe like you're definitely losing. You're definitely going to lose probably both draft picks this year. I imagine that you're going to lose a lot. And Daniel Grib in the comment, shout out him. He said, the higher the draft pick, the more money.
Right.
which is a good point. You know, like when you and that's going to be someone you're going to have to pay eventually. And so I love Clingan. I think he is
absolutely
really good fit for this team. But it's like you said, there are other dudes, Khalil Ware. I mean, I think I heard Verno. It might have been on one of Vernon's shows. It might not have been his show. It might have been on the Mismatch. They were talking about how Khalil Ware fits that kind of dude who has been great since a high schooler, a la Derek Lively, and might be in those later draft picks. I mean, or the Grizzlies could draft him at 9th. Like, there's no need to move up.
No, I agree. Like, as much as we love Clingan, and we do, very pro Clingan on the daily grind, I think he'd be a great fit along Jaren. He's got a bright NBA future. Every time he does a workout, his stock goes up, right? He's looking better and better. But there's no sense in overpaying for the guy, particularly like you said, we're going to be strapped a little bit. We got a higher payroll next year, unless we can move off of Marcus and some of these other big numbers. And Shitty, who's commanding like $20 million guaranteed on his contract. It's ridiculous. He's like just below Luke. He's like just below Luke, which is wild.
Yeah.
But I've seen Khalil Ware going in that like 24 to 26. And so do you package something? The Knicks have 24 from Dallas and they have the 25th pick. You package something with them. Maybe they're itching to move up and get a guy that's in this draft or you know, move somebody to try and take one of those picks and then get a Khalil Ware, because it was on the Mismatch. It was Verno and Kevin O'Connor just talking about how athletic he is and how that's just he's gotten more athletic. And he played for a bad Indiana team, so he didn't get the hype that some of the other guys did. But he gave Edey like 28 and 14. I mean, he plays really well. He plays bigger than his little skinny frame. I mean, we've seen a skinny big come into Memphis that can shoot, and it turned out pretty well in Jared Jackson Jr. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe you get another big athletic guy that can play, because all you need is a rebounder and a guy that can play pick and roll. And if he can do that and be athletic, I'm all in. Yeah,
and you look at the Gaffords and the Livelies that are in there right now. Those dudes were drafted. I could be mistaken. I believe they were drafted right around where the Grizzlies are drafting. They weren't lottery. They weren't like high lottery picks. So I just, you need help, but
you have to break the bank to get it.
Yes. And when you're a small market team and you're already, and there's so many weird restrictions with the CBA now, like we got to be careful.
Yeah, and I was listening to the Mismatch this morning, and they were talking about how they like if Minnesota wants to move off of Cat, like off of Gobert, all the restrictions and all the things that come with that. Like you can't sign a free agent. Like there's so many different like nuances now that like you have to toe the line and do some fancy footwork to make it work. Why not get a guy a little bit cheaper and just save that capital for your stars that you're already starting to have to pay?
Yeah. Well, and you also. They're lucky they got guys like Vince and Gigi on these cheap contracts, because it gives them a little bit more flexibility here. If that didn't happen, well, and then a lot of this could change too. You know, if Marcus and Luke come off the books, that's almost $30 million
right there.
That right there. You know, like, so there's a little bit of wiggle room. It's like you said, when the bank is already, I don't want to say broke, but when you're teetering that line. When you don't really have the bank to break, why would you try to break it to get somebody?
And I don't know that we'll have an answer to that, like what we're going to do until night of, because Kleiman does a good job playing stuff too close to the chest. Like we didn't know anything really about Marcus Smart until it was actually happening. And so I think that we'll know more the week of the 26th and 27th when the draft actually happens. But there's going to have to be some movement. If we're going to go for like a big splash, either moving up in the draft or a big name big, I don't know that we'll know that until the week of, because it's going to have to happen. You will have to go move both one of, if not both, Marcus and Luke to make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's for sure going to be until after the finals are over. I don't know why anybody would do anything till then. And I think you're right. I think it's going to be until night of draft, and then it'll be, the Grizzlies, blah, 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 blah. You know, like I think we'll find that out night of. That's how, I mean, I feel like Kleiman makes moves night of too. That's what he does.
That's what he does, and it works out pretty well. I mean, you know, a la Desmond Bain, a la Gigi Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark. Like, those were all acquired by draft night moves and trades. Zaire we'll throw in there, but we won't. We'll just, you know, just show that he makes trades draft night, not that he misses on them every once in a while. But we've got to, you know, in Kleiman, I trust. I think he's going to make the right decision. It seems like every year so far, one of the draft night trades seem to work out. So we'll take that.
Yeah, he at least hits on one of them a night, it seems. Every draft.
Maybe not Laravia and Zaire, but on some of these other guys like BC and Des.
Who?
Exactly.
Who? We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we are going to talk about who our dream free agent targets. We're talking about, it's off season. We got to talk about something right after this break.
An anonymous NBA team member says that having the number 1 pick in this year's draft is like essentially drafting Tobias Harris.
Wow.
Which we've both talked about Tobias Harris. I like him as a player. Man, that's kind of harsh. But I understand what he's saying. You don't want Tobias Harris as the number 1 pick in the draft.
Because you look at him and you see what can be. It's just like, just need it all. Can we get it all the time? I just want to see that more. You're talking about some people with some low numbers as being high draft picks. I mean, the draft is just a lot different than what I'm accustomed to. Like, you guys that are going to be averaging 11 points, some guys averaging 9 points. These guys are your top 5 draft picks for the NBA draft.
I don't know, but good luck to them.
Yes.
Dreams will come true.
Well, we will welcome them into the NBA with open arms, especially if we can pronounce the last name.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Does anyone as a Grizzly fan have the right to cheer for whoever they cheer for in the playoffs, especially when the Grizzlies aren't playing? Yes, right.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't give a flying deep fried shit about who you guys choose to cheer for. I don't. I honestly don't care who you choose to cheer for. When you talk about the grit and grind era, Zach Randolph was that dude to me. He was my favorite player of the era. My second favorite player of the era was Mike Conley Jr.
Right.
And I remember even in covering the team, just some really dope conversations I've had with Mike Conley. He's a super cool dude. You know what I mean? If you choose to cheer for Mike, you definitely have that right. I also have a right to not give a damn about Mike's career outside of being a Memphis Grizzly. Like, I do not care, bro. Like, when Mike Conley got traded to another team, that dude was super happy to be gone. Like, and he has that right as well. The situation that he left, I'm not mad at him for, being happy to get away from it. If he wins one, will I be happy? Will I be hating on him? No. I'll be, hey, that's dope. Mike Conley got a championship. Hey, he's been around for a long time.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. You can catch all those shows and a bunch of other shows. You got the $2 Sports Show. You had an episode Friday. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome. It was hype for me, and it was. You can't see my thumbs. I get confused which is stage left and stage right. 2 thumbs up. You can catch that. We just got a bunch of stuff over at bluffcitymedia.co. Check it out. CO, no M. Leave it. Just stop the alphabet after that. Just don't go. All right. Dream free agent targets. The reason we're having this conversation is because it just seems like everybody's dropping those things right now. I know specifically I saw on Bleacher Report they had dream free agent target for the Grizzlies, Precious Achiuwa, for whatever reason. So I was just, it's the time of year where we all dream about a roster that maybe we dream about a player we want, we dream about a fit. I think we all, I don't think it requires much dreaming. I think we know what spot needs upgraded. Mm-hmm. It's the position that we don't have on the roster right now, but like it's all of that to say, like, who is your dream free agent? I don't know. Like, there's a lot, and I want you to be realistic here. I don't want you just to say, oh, it's LeBron James. Right. Like, which I would kick you out of this thing if you said that.
Yeah.
It's just like, pick someone, don't say Joel Embiid. Pick somebody like real, like a real target, maybe an unhappy guy, and someone who's due to get paid. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, it's one player. You and I've talked about him on this show. I've talked about him on the $2 Sports Show a lot. He's actually a free agent. I don't know that he's happy or not. I mean, what's not to love in New York, I guess, unless you want to come to Tennessee where there is no state income tax. And that would be Isaiah Hartenstein. The guy is a big. He does a lot of the things that we need well. He's a paint defender. He gets rebounds. He knows how to play alongside superstars who attack the rim. In Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Maybe Josh Hart, not a superstar, but Jalen Brunson. And then you've got DiVincenzo who can shoot. He obviously can rebound and does well there. He's due to be a free agent. Unfortunately, he is going to get paid this off season. I don't know that we can afford him with where our structure is, but this is a dream scenario, right? This is us making our dreams, our wish list for Santa, asking for the pony, and then getting the little riding horse that you just rock back and forth, right? But I'm going with Isaiah Hartenstein would be my dream center target.
Those little rocking horses still get the job done.
They do.
The thing about they work. The thing about Hartenstein is interesting too, because the Knicks, you know, like they've got OG's also a free agent. They got to pay him if they want to keep him. And he seemed pretty integral to what they were doing last year, which so did Hartenstein. They also seem like the big, I feel like I see everywhere that they're going to go after Miles Bridges. Or Mikal, which one? Whichever, Miles.
Bridges.
No, which I get it. Mikal Bridges. I keep reading that they're going to go after him. Somehow they might try to trade, but he's not a free agent either way. Like, I just don't know. I know they have cap, but will they be willing to pay Isaiah Hartenstein? You know, like that's my thing. Like they've got so many other names that they have to pay. Will they be willing to pay? I think that he might be more available, despite how incredible he was. I think that's actually more realistic than a lot of people may think.
You know, like Daniel Greer said in the comments, right? We can't give up guys and not bring money back, but would they be interested in a sign and trade of a Marcus Smart to give him a defensive dog, to give him a little bit of help? You know, would they be interested in something like that just to move some of that money around to help us be able to then pay Isaiah Hartenstein while freeing up some money to pay him? Or, you know, maybe a Luke Kennard if they need some shooting. I mean, we've got some capital that we can make it work. I just don't know, you know, they'll be willing to give him up. Obviously, Julius Randle was hurt a lot this year. I don't know what they're going to do with him in New York, but I mean, Hartenstein would look good in Beale Street Blue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he would. Another guy we've also talked on this show. I want to trade for Jared Allen. I like the dude a lot, and every interview or podcast I've seen with him, I think he would fit really well with this group of guys. I think he's an all-star. You know, that's an all-star center, first of all. And I think that you want to talk about a team that might want we could do a Smart Allen straight up. I think the salaries even match. You know, I think that's like where you're saying a team that might need some defense, because regardless of what you think of Marcus, the dude does offer some upside on defense still. You know, it's just Jared Allen gives you that lob threat. He gives you somebody just to clean up in the dunker spot who can also get you rebounds. He may not be the like machine that Isaiah Hartenstein is, but he's no slouch.
Right. What do you think about some of the like questions about his toughness and willingness to play? Have you seen, like, you put any credit into that?
I know. I think whoever did that in the Cavs, I would have asked to be traded immediately. I think that's horse hunting. Someone's trying to assassinate his character within the damn Molly. No, what's the dog's name? Shelby agrees. Yeah. Like it's like it's, you know, like I don't. My cat is going nuts. I don't think that
Shelby is too.
Shelby, like you don't come after a dude like that. You know, like, and especially, were they going to win that series? No. I don't know. The dude, I think, saw what that team thought about him when he was hurt, and he didn't like him. And I just come to Memphis, boy. Come to Memphis, friend. I know you like Pokemon. You can come play Pokemon down here, bro. We'll trade. I love Pokemon. Shout out Pokemon.
I bought my first set of Pokemon cards this weekend for my nephew. Just FYI, I bought some for him for his birthday. That's what he wanted. So I'm actually purchased Pokemon cards for the first time in my life. But I was just getting your assessment on that. I love Jared Allen. Love the way he plays. I think he could fit really well. He just feels like a bro's bro. And that's what, you know, I could see him going like with Jaren and BC to the Cayman Islands and hanging out, and, you know, because they're always together. They're always hanging out. And I think Jared Allen would just be another, you know, addition to that, because he feels like the kind of vibe that we have here in Memphis. His play style matches. You know, he's a bucket getter. He'll get you 20 a night, but could he then come in here and like take a back seat to some of that, realizing that he's probably going to be the fourth option behind, you know, some other guys who can score pretty good. And if you can do that, get us rebounds and get those little bunnies and putbacks like Steven Adams did, you can win an NBA championship here in Memphis and do it, you know, with a great group of guys. So I love Jared Allen. I love the acquisition. I think it'd be a great pickup.
I think if the Grizzlies get either of these guys, I think it immediately puts them in the upper echelon of the West. And the West is going to, I know they say it every, the West is going to be better next year. The Grizzlies are going to be a lot better next year.
Yeah.
Like regardless of who is in that spot. Yeah. Yes.
Damn it.
There's wood. Knock on the wood everywhere, people. If you're watching Find a piece of wood, maple, cedar, oak, and knock on it. Like, it doesn't matter. We're going to take one more break, and when we're going to get back, we're going to talk about right after this break.
The old dudes are getting up out of here too. The LeBrons are starting to look old. Steph Curry looking old. Kevin Durant, first time ever. Neither one of those three guys are in the second round of the playoffs, right?
I absolutely welcome the ushering out of the old heads. Like I have this extreme like LeBron fatigue. Like I don't like the way that he's covered by the media, and it makes me tend to not like him. And it's not even his fault.
Yeah,
it was never his fault. And so moving forward with the new faces of the league, like your John Morants and your Luka Doncic's and Anthony Edwards could be part of that conversation. But does the league want to like put him on? Because they're gonna market whoever they want to market, right? And I feel like he's very marketable, but for some reason it seems like the league not leaning into it.
Because they know it's a clown. They know it's a clown inside.
He gonna say whatever,
out, right?
He gonna say whatever.
From John Morant, you better vet these dudes toughly. And the dude who's coming to M-bombs and eating Popeyes on screen. And
he on the Bally's mic, bro. The mic is hot, bro. We heard what you just said.
They know a clown is in there, man.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The Grizzlies, number nine in the NBA draft. They're picking 9th, 39th, and 57. Who they getting with those three? Go.
A veteran from around the league.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. If there's something that they could do with that 9th pick that gets them someone that's already proven, then yeah, because I don't even know who would be thought of as being the 9th best player that's coming out at this point. I have no idea who that person would be, but I know this team, in terms of for moving forward, you think in terms of winning a championship, still young enough, and you still want some pieces that are able to help you win right now, not just continue to amass for the future. For the future is right now for this team.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I think, was that the Welcome Back Cotter song? Welcome back to the Daily Grind, and shout out Welcome Back Cotter. That was the Night Court and the Anthony Sane Show. You can also catch $2 Sports Show, Grizz 901 Show. We got a whole mess of shows. Catch them all. Got the Soccer Show. Got Untapped. Got a whole bunch of shit. Catch them up. Catch them all at bluffcitymedia.co.
Pokemon reference. Got to catch them all.
Got to catch them all. Pokemon, man. So when I was in high school, real quick aside, me and my friends would just like whatever Pokemon people looked like, we would just call them by that to their faces. And I realized much later that's mean and bullying behavior, and don't do it. And I'm sorry. But Mondays, they're for lasagna. So if you're just joining us for the first time ever, welcome. But on Mondays, they are for lasagna. What I mean by that is I love Garfield. He hates Mondays. He loves lasagna. We talk about the thing that we loved and we hated the most over the weekend. I can go first. What I loved, I'll give you my Monday first because I'll give you my Monday. What I hated, Finn, mine and Kyla, my stepson, where he is trying out for a travel soccer team. They had tryouts all weekend. I don't like standing around and doing nothing and just sitting around and soccer is also really spread out. And so when they're over there, I can't even see it. And so I'm just sitting there in my chair and I'm just like, I don't know why am I here? And I want to be supportive, but it was hot. And if you didn't notice by me not being able to stand up at the beginning of the show, my knees aren't the best. It's just, I can think of a million ways to spend my time other than standing around at a sporting event that isn't like fast paced. I don't like in a sport that can end in a tie. I just don't.
If I'm running 7 miles in a game, by God, we're scoring 100 points. We better not score one or tie. Absolutely not.
And it better not come down to like a penalty kick where it's like, it might just be like, oh yeah, after 100 minutes, that dude's tired. I don't know. I got thoughts on soccer. It's fine. I just watching kids play where it's like half of them are, and it's just like, and Finn's good. Finn's like good. And so it's like, I'm out here watching him smoke these kids. And I'm like, which just makes me sound the worst.
I get it though.
I hate it. My lasagna was so. I don't know if you can see the Garfield shirt. There's a Garfield movie out, and so there's a lot of Garfield merchandise, willy-nilly everywhere. I went to Target over the weekend, and I was just like, oh, look at this, look at this. I was just kind of sprinting around like a child. There's something Garfield hanging up right, but you can't see it. I've got my cart filled with probably $60 worth of Garfield memorabilia. Got to the checkout line and was like, you are a grown man. There's nothing in this cart but Garfield things. Like, there's people out. I wasn't by myself. It wasn't like one of those shopping sprees where they lock the doors. It was just a cart full of Garfield stuff. I took a real hard look at the things in my cart, and I put 4 of the 6 items back, and I only got 2 things.
Wow.
But just the sheer joy of having a cart filled with Garfield stuff.
Yeah.
Filled my heart. Filled my heart like his heart filled with lasagna.
I'm the same way with Ninja Turtles. If I see Ninja Turtle memorabilia out, dude, I just stock up, and I will look down and I've spent I have $100 worth of Ninja Turtle stuff in my cart. I'm like, bro, you can't do this. You are a 30-something-year-old man. Like,
you're not allowed.
That lady's going to judge you. that
lady's going to judge
you out. Yeah, so let's see. I'll start my Monday for the weekend. Mississippi State petered out yesterday in College World Series. Got just drubbed. It was 3-2 late. We had Gavin Black, who struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced, and Chris Lemonis, our skipper, who I have not been a fan of. If you watch the 2 Buck Sports show, which I would recommend, if those 2 guys are good, made a pitching change. The guy struck out 3 of the 4 batters he's faced, and he brings in Tyler Davis, who has been a great pitcher for us throughout the season. Had pitched a lot this weekend. And subsequently, we gave up 6 runs and lost 9-2. So ugly end
with him on the mound.
He was there for the majority of it. I'd switched it. I was watching it. They scored 3 runs, and I was with Maggie last night. I was like, "Can we watch Game of Thrones? Because I'm just over this." And so I was keeping up with it on my phone, but I was no longer actively watching us give up 6 runs at the top of the 9th after what was a hard-fought game and fighting our way out of the losers bracket. Tough end to the season, but
that's a bummer.
You hate to go out that way, Yeah. You're in the game with the 12th overall seed. You're playing good baseball. To give up 6 runs at the top of the 9th and get just destroyed sucks.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, tough Monday. But my lasagna of the weekend, dude. Friday night, Maggie and I had a phenomenal date night. She's awesome. Yeah. First of all. Second of all, that escape room in a box was awesome. It was so much fun. It was so hard. Like, we had to figure out all these clues to escape out of this Pharaoh's tomb. And so, like, everything was a part of it, right? Because this is the first time I'd ever done one. She's a pro at them, but, like, everything was a part of the puzzle, right? Like, the box that it came in, the divider in the box. Like, there's so many things that were a part of it. It just felt like every time you think you've got it figured out, you pull a card. It's like, nope, that clue's not right. You're like, start back over. So you're having to go back to the drawing board. Like, it was such a fun, like, it was just different, right? Instead of just vegging out watching Game of Thrones or going to a movie or just having dinner, like, we had eaten dinner. We're sitting around her table in her living room. It was incredible. It was so much fun. Just a great, again, mental exercise, 10 out of 10. Recommend doing a escape room box with your significant other for sure.
Man, I don't know who – the escape, it's a brilliant idea. I don't know. It's because you're right. They're so fun. And there's also nothing like an escape room to make you realize how effed you are if you were ever had to escape. Like me, I'm like, it's like I got to do what? There's a what now?
Right. We're going to do one like an actual escape room here pretty soon. And I think we'll do better at that. But like this one was tough, man. And like, I don't know. Like, I think we might have gone over the time limit for 2 people. Doesn't matter. We got out. We probably would have ran out of air in real life. But like you said, like, it was one of the things that was like, man, like if I'm ever in a bad situation, my survival skills are not quite what I thought they were.
It's like, man, apparently just like rolling up in a ball will not get you far in these. They just won't, like I in my mind, I'm like, The way you survive is you roll up in a ball. That's how you fight a bear, and it's like, but not a pharaoh. That's not how you fight a pharaoh. God, I want to do one right now.
So much fun.
My cat's looking at me like he wants to do a escape room or eat me. We're going to figure that out after the show. That's going to do it for the show today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. Have a great week, everybody. Rusty, thank you, sir. I might see if you want to join me later this week. I'm going to have Uncle Buck on tomorrow. We're going to tube a little bit. We're going to talk about some coaches. We're just going to have fun, like we do here. We're going to have fun all week. If I can leave you with 2 things, remember, you got to be a little weird. And remember to smile. I will see everybody tomorrow.